Good morning, Insta. Welcome back to me. Welcome back to home, and good to see you guys. It's been a while. I was in California this week, and as promised, I am coming on live to talk about how to travel. So my favorite travel tips and how to do it, how to like modulate the time change. So I'm right now 3 hours ahead of what my body's acclimated for. And so just kind of talking a little bit about some tips I use to do that. So I'm getting like a weird reflection here. Okay, let's say that's better. Okay. So first and foremost, the number one thing that I do when I travel to kind of handle the time change and all that kind of stuff is I keep my daily routines every single day. And the number one thing that I don't forget when I travel are my supplements, my vitamins and minerals and all that kind of stuff. I take them with me. I actually take this box with everything. Sometimes I add extra, like I'll bring extra Digest Zen or extra On Guard ones. But I take them with me in this box. I mean, you can do it however you want, but I always take them with me. And then when I'm going to be out and about all day, so I was at a conference and I would leave my hotel room and not come back to my hotel room until the evening, I would take whatever my daily like morning ones or lunchtime ones or whatever I'm taking in like some sort of container with me. So I took this like awesome little Longchamp little coin purse, which I actually use to keep my my vitamins and stuff with me while I'm actually on the road, so to say. You know, like when I was like in the middle of my conference, I'd have them here. I wouldn't have to bring my whole huge box with me. So I always make sure that I'm taking my supplements because that helps keep me really steady. And then I keep up with things that I do every single day. So I have my morning oils of balance on my feet, copaiba, frankincense, and melissa. I brought those with me. And I did my balance and serenity at night every single day. I always bring a diffuser with me. So in the morning when I'm feeling tired because it's a 3-hour time difference, I would put wild orange and peppermint, which is what I do at home. And I would put that into the diffuser. And then at night I would do balance and serenity to help me get back to sleep. I always take with me a huge complement of oils. So in my carry-on, I have like the little, people ask me this all the time, you can travel with oils. Even the 15 ml bottles, these are under the 3-ounce requirement that, you know, the 3-ounce that you're not allowed to do, over 3 ounces. So I take a little Ziploc bag and I fill them up with all my oils. And basically, for my carry-on liquids, I essentially have only oils. Also, I'll have about 20 or more in that bag. And then once I go through security, I put them into whatever carriers I have. So this is my Go alignment that I take everywhere. You guys see this all the time. I'll tag this in my live. Ashley, yeah, this is my girl. She's very, no shame in her game. She's happy because her whole pack is together again. All 4 of us are home, so now she can like rest, and you know she likes it when we're all home. But yeah, so I take them in my carry-on, that little zipper bag, and then I put that, it goes through security, and then I will transfer it once I get through security into something a little bit more secure when I'm actually flying. And so some of the oils that I bring with me that I recommend for like handling that big time change, one is copaiba. And it actually does not come with a dropper top. I bought this dropper top. This one I think is from Your Oil Tools, but you can get them at Oil Life or Share Oils. They're really helpful. And I put 2 drops under my tongue morning and night, and that really helps me handle the stress of travel. And then also it's really supportive for sleep at night. So if you get to the end of the day and you're still on the other time zone and you're having trouble falling asleep, it's really great. And you can also try it in the middle of the night if you wake up. So say you wake up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, because that's 7 your time, you're still on like your old time. You can try a little bit of this to help sort of ease you back to sleep. The other thing I really like about this oil is traveling is stressful. Yesterday I had 2 flights. One was about almost 6 hours long, and the other one was short, but both were very turbulent. Like my flight attendants basically were sitting almost the whole time, and for 6 hours it was a bummer. And I do not like to fly, so this is really great for my anxiousness and for my stress, and it really helped me. Since I've started using this, I found that flying is much less of a struggle for me. Yesterday, on any other time of my life, would have been extremely difficult, and I was all good. Like, just to give you an idea, I used to not be able to fly and listen to anything or watch anything if there was turbulence, and that was not the case, and I actually fell asleep on my first flight. So it's really, really great for any anxiousness or stress. So I would never travel without this oil. So it's Copaiba or Copaiba, depending on, it helps also with all the people around you. If you're finding that like people are really anxious or your family's really anxious, it has great anxiousness support for you. And on that note, another oil I feel is super helpful, especially if you're going through places that are crowded, or like I was at a leadership meeting with a lot of people, or airports where there's a lot of sort of funky energy, and if you're susceptible to taking that on or having it affect you, or maybe like in your core you're an introvert, which I really am an introvert. I know a lot of people don't believe that when they meet me, but it's true. I'm an introvert. I love to be at home. Like this is like my happy place, is being with her at home and not out in like big crowds. So I like using Melaleuca or tea tree oil, and I actually use it sort of for energetic purposes. I roll it on my wrist creases, and if it's really bad on my solar plexus. And I used this yesterday because I normally have with me On Guard hand sanitizing spray, but mine spilled, so I didn't have any. So I used my tea tree oil on my hands, kind of like instead of Purell, to keep me, sort of protected from that kind of stuff, and I use it to keep me almost like in an energetic bubble as well. So if one of the things that you struggle with when you're traveling or crossing time zones is people, this is your people helper, tea tree oil. I know it seems crazy, but it is so true. Trust me. I never ever travel without On Guard, because every single person around you is sneezing and coughing invariably. So I always roll it on my chest unless I'm traveling somewhere sunny, and I put it on the bottoms of my feet, or I take it internally. So this trip I was going to San Diego, and I knew I was going to be out in the sun. So I actually took the soft gels, and I didn't put it on as much topically because it's got orange. So it can make you sensitive to the sun, which I already am, just sort of by the nature of my being. But what's nice about this is it's your immune support blend. And one of the things that happens when you travel, and especially if you're not getting as much sleep or you're changing time zones, is that you sort of make yourself sensitive to whatever is around in the, whatever bugs are around. And I don't mean the flying bugs, I mean the infectious bugs. Also, your immune system is built up, I'm a little tired, I'm having trouble talking, builds up immunity to whatever is around in your area. So whatever infections are around, you're exposed to it when you go to the grocery store, your kids bring it home, and you build up tolerance to it, but you don't where you're going. So whatever is going around in San Diego is not what my body has built up tolerance to. So I like to give myself like a little bit of extra boost with On Guard, either topically or internally. It's just be mindful that it has orange oil, so it can make you sensitive to the sun. So if you are going somewhere sunny or you're going to be outside at all, just try on the bottoms of your feet, which you're not exposed to the sun, or internally. And that I think one of the things that happens a lot of times when we travel is that we do pick up stuff on the way, and that adds to our jet lag and our just sort of like feeling. So I try and prevent that. I never go anywhere without peppermint. Peppermint is my stay awake when I'm tired oil. And this is a really good one for like this. I will be relying on this today because I am now trying to readjust to East Coast time after being in San Diego. And truth be told, this is the harder direction. And so I'll be using this. This helps keep me awake when I'm feeling really draggy. It's really bright and sparkly. And so it's a good one when you're trying to acclimate to the current time zone. So I don't know, I'm sure I don't know, you probably already know this if you travel, but one of the most important things to do for jet lag is to be on the time zone where you land. So even if you haven't had a lot of sleep, if it is 8 in the morning where you are now landing, so for example, here it's 8:42 in the morning, but it's only 5:42, my body is now in San Diego, I'm still gonna be up at 5:45 or 6 o'clock East Coast time, even if that means it's only 3 a.m. in San Diego, because I'm trying to get myself back on track with the local time zone. You see her, she's dreaming. She was just dreaming there. She is on San Diego time, clearly. Anyway, so peppermint's really helpful for that because it can be very hard to feel awake. You see, I'm like a little tired. My language is sort of like blah, blah, blah. So if I put some peppermint, what I'll probably do is put it on the back of my neck, a little bit on my temples, and it just helps keep me awake. Even though I have a latte right here, sometimes that makes me more tired. So peppermint is really good for that. And you can use the peppermint beadlets in your mouth or put this on topically, or sometimes even just smelling it is enough to keep you awake and energized. Two other things. One, I wanted to share my two favorite on the plane stressor, anxiousness oils, besides copaiba, which I just do just natural. I mean, I already have that in my being because I had already taken it, are frankincense and lavender. So I take lavender and I roll it on my wrist as many times as I need to when it's a really turbulent flight, and just smell it. And then I take frankincense and I do two things. One, I put it on, well, actually three. On my third eye, I put it on my wrists, and then I also put it on, if you kind of imagine, if you take your ears and go up right to the middle, that spot up there, there's a traditional Chinese energy meridian spot, and I just hold my frankincense touch, or you could put a drop there. But when I'm traveling, I usually use the rollers because they're less likely to spill and they're so easy and handy to use. I put it right there and I keep it there until I can feel the oil all the way down to my scalp, and that helps me be like landed even if I'm 32,000 feet in the air. So really, really helpful. Lavender and frankincense. They're incredibly helpful if you're someone who's a nervous traveler, or they really help with that anxiousness. And I think a lot of what comes up when we travel is that we are anxiousness and we aren't grounded, and that's part of what makes sleep difficult, and sleep is the biggest problem we have with jet lag. So those are some of my oil tools. The last two tips I want to give you are, I told you bring a diffuser with you. So this is the Brevi diffuser, which there's actually going to be a new version of it. It's kind of white and marbled coming out next month. It will be a limited time thing. I really love this diffuser. So if you don't know what this diffuser, if you needed like a tip, it does change colors. It's super powerful, and it's this little tiny one, but there's other travel diffusers you can use if you don't want to take a full-size one. I always take a diffuser with me. I feel like it makes my hotel room home, and it continues the habits that I have every day, making a blend in the morning, making a blend at night. It just kind of keeps me in my normal patterns. So if you're a regular diffuser, make sure you bring a diffuser with you. I like to have travel straws. So this time I got these amazing, I forgot mine, but I got these amazing stainless steel straws. So I had one with me everywhere I went. So when I got my green juices, when I got my iced tea at Starbucks, I had my straws with me. It felt incredibly important to have these with me and not be using single-use straws. So I just carried it with me. So I have it, I clean it off and keep it with my bag. And I love that. It just makes me feel like I'm doing what I do at home, which is to not use the plastic straws. And then finally, I always bring a water bottle with me because I want to make sure I'm bringing enough water. And I like to have a citrus oil that I put a drop or two in the morning, and then it's in my water all day. The limonene in the citrus has so many incredible benefits for you. This time my oil was green mandarin, which I can't get enough of it. So I would put a drop or two of green mandarin in my bottle, stainless or glass only, you guys, no plastic. And then I would fill it up with water, and I would have my water with me everywhere, and I'd have my limonene, which is the chemical constituent that comes in the citrus oils. So I'd have that to support me internally and just kind of gave me a little bit of extra lift. All right, so those are my tips for you. Rollers are amazing. If you're going to take your oils, don't even hesitate to bring the roll-ons. I find that they're the easiest. If you only want one with you, you can just kind of slip it in like the pencil slot in your bag. They're so terrific. And you don't have to bring, like, I bring Balance with me, so this is Balance. This one has a roller top. I know I've showed you this before. But you can bring your 15 ml bottles, or you can make a roll-on. So this is a blend that I've been using every single day that's like a special blend for me. And I brought that and I made it. So if you have an oil you really love and you don't want to bring the full, like you're like, this is too much, but I'd rather just bring a little bit, make yourself a roller. This roller is actually from the doTERRA back office, so you can order these. These are empty, and I made a blend with fractionated coconut oil, and you can do that with any of the oils you like. Just make a little roll on. This is 10 mils, but you can also buy from other places 5 mil and 2 mil, so it doesn't even have to be a big one. The last thing I want to say is on the plane, so I checked my bag, but on the plane in my carry-on, I didn't bring things, like I always bring Deep Blue Rub with me, and I always bring my toothpaste. And if you want to have like smaller, less heavy versions of it, you can bring the sample sizes. So I bring there's like these little samples and a little sample of toothpaste, so I don't have to bring my whole big toothpaste with me on the plane. If you're doing like a weekend trip or something, that's a great way to do it without having to carry tons and tons of weight. Okay, I hope that was helpful, you guys, and I will chat with you soon. If you want to be part of, I have a couple of things coming up. The first I want to say is in the last week of April, I'll be doing a 5-day essential oil, I call it Essential Oil Magic, where you learn about how to use oils. It's a free online thing through a special Facebook group, a private Facebook group, and I send you a goodie package of all kinds of oil goodness, and then we go through what I've sent you so you learn how to use them safely, and oh my gosh, so many different uses. And so there's that. If you're interested in that, let me know, send me a message, and I can tell you more about it. The other thing is, for about 10 more, maybe less than 10 days, 8-9 days left in this month, you can get a free Deep Blue Rub and a 5 ml Deep Blue. And that is for anyone who purchases 200 points or 2 points or doTERRA dollars, so roughly $200 in oils. You get those for free, and they're amazing. So that's for new wholesale customers, new wellness advocates, anyone, current customers. So if you want to know more about that, let me know. Okay, that's it. Have a good day, you guys.